home had just begun. And Mr. Wine joining me now, again, live on the phone from Kampala. As I said, we spoke this time last week. You were under siege then, and you say you are still under house arrest. Just describe what you mean by that. Who is it penning you in, and on whose orders, sir?
Thank you very much. On the 14th of January, immediately after casting my ballot, the military and the police surrounded my house. And right from the 15th, nobody was allowed to come in, and I was also blocked from leaving. Even when my wife tried to access the garden to get some food, she was assaulted by the military. This has been happening all along. I was blocked by the military from going about my campaign. But because General Museveni is aware that he lost this election flat, that's why I am being kept under illegal detention. I am not allowed to meet my family. I'm not allowed to meet my doctors. And all my lawyers have been turned away from meeting me.
You say that you've had an 18-month-old little one with you, and that you have no food. How are you coping?
I posted a picture of myself and my wife and the 18-month-old baby, and we were starving. That is when the military allowed my lawyers to come in and evacuate the baby. So I'm glad to inform the world that the baby was evacuated yesterday when my lawyers were very briefly allowed to come in. My lawyers also filed before the High Court a case of habeas corpus and asking the court to order the military and the police to present my wife and me in court if we have a case to answer. And the High Court of Uganda said that they are going to determine our fate on Monday, whether or not we are allowed to leave our home. But in the meantime, our house is surrounded by hundreds of soldiers, and they've even jumped over the fence and have taken control of our compound. Everybody is harassed. My security guard was beaten and made to roll in the mud by the police, by the soldiers that are surrounding us and keeping us captive.
So you are saying that on Monday you expect to be taken to court to hear charges? Is that what I understand? The line isn't great. Just explain what happens next as you understand it.
I'm sorry, the lines are breaking and the internet is also blocked, but I hope you can hear me. I said that my lawyers took a case in court 4 days ago, but the court has said it will only deliver a judgment about my case on Monday. My lawyers were challenging, and they still challenge my illegal detention in my house because it is not anywhere anchored in the law. This detention in my house is illegal, and my lawyers are questioning that if there's a case for me and my wife to answer, then we should be presented before a competent court.
Bobi Wine, people will be wondering as we speak, if the internet is blocked and your phones are blocked, how was it that you were able to do the Facebook Live earlier?
Actually, the internet has been relieved. It has been restored in all of Uganda. But as soon as I started doing the Facebook Live, it was cut short because there are helicopters hovering around my compound. I was supposed to do this CNN interview on Skype, but even Skype has been cut off and the whole internet was cut off. That is why you cannot see me. That is why I am doing this interview on a telephone. And I'm also using this telephone because it is not known to the authorities. My real phone line and the phone line of my wife and the house line have all been blocked.
And I have to say, viewers, Bobi Wine was supposed to appear by Skype today on this show, but it was impossible to get a decent shot up on that facility. So we are now speaking by phone. Bobi, CNN spoke to Museveni's senior press secretary, Don Wanyama. he implied that the president knows nothing about your detention. And he said, and I quote him here, why would he? Wanyama said, stop Musevenizing everything. Talk to the police. Do you believe that?
Well, in the Uganda we live in, everything is in the firm control of General Museveni. All the state institutions are being taken over by General Museveni. The police, the military, the media, every state institution, including the courts of law. And that is why there is a saying that there is an order from above. Nobody, no institution is independent. That is why the police is waiting for orders whether or not to follow the law. Otherwise, if the police was supposed to keep law and order like it is mandated by the law, then the police would have taken me in a legal detention facility, because my house is not a gazetted detention center. And indeed, the courts seem to be waiting for the orders of General Museveni, because if that was the case, then the court would not wait for 8 days of my detention. They would have done their noble duty. But no institution seems to be working. Everything begins and ends with General Museveni, because it is his orders that work in Uganda and not the law.
Jake Sullivan, the National Security Advisor for the new U.S. President, Joe Biden, has criticized what is happening. What evidence do you have of that you can share with us? What evidence do you have?
And that has been a show carried out in the dark. And even if the United States and European electoral observers were blocked from observing this election, we were able to obtain outstanding and very, very strong evidence. We have declaration forms that prove that what the Electoral Commission announced as the final results were not anywhere near the reality that took place. We have proof in terms of declaration of results forms proving that we indeed defeated General Museveni by far. And we have also very, very many videos that show the military taking ballots and stuffing them in the boxes. We have videos of the military putting the voters on gunpoint and ordering them to tick General Museveni. Not ticking in secret, but ticking on the boxes and on the desk when everybody was watching. We also have videos of the military and police turning away our agents from the polling stations. All this.
Bobi Wine, let me just stop you there. Let me just stop you there for a moment, because I do want to just ask you this one question, and I'm running out of time here, and I worry that your phone will go down. There has been criticism by the Ugandan government of the US meddling in Uganda's internal politics. What do you say to that?
Well, General Museveni does not want any international, scrutiny. He does not want any human rights claims. When the United States is sponsoring the military, that is okay with them. But when they call him to account in terms of human rights, then he does not want to hear that. I must also use this opportunity to mention that there is every effort by the armed forces and the police to block us from challenging this election in court. That is why they are going around abducting and arresting all our agents, and that is why they are keeping me under house arrest, to make sure that they provided time where we are supposed to challenge this fraudulent election in court runs out. That's why they're holding me under house arrest. They don't want me to challenge it in court. They don't want me to raise any challenge until the time is out.
Bobi Wine, live on the phone from what he describes as house arrest in Uganda. You're watching CNN. We will be right back after this.
Of all the companies on the Fortune 500...